Hello, Willowbrook family. Today's deep dive is into Genesis chapter 14, verses 17 through 24. All through the Bible, many of the great God-fearing characters encountered various temptations, just like we do today. In a way, it's kind of encouraging to know that we, everyday, ordinary people, aren't the only ones tempted. Today we're going to study about Abraham when he was still known as Abram, and the time that he was tempted by an evil king, and how God provided encouragement to make the right decision. Abram had just returned from a very risky battle in which he won, and he meets two kings in a valley. One king is the king of Sodom, and he is very evil, and you can only imagine how evil he was. And the other king is a mysterious character named Melchizedek. Now, to be honest, we don't know much about Melchizedek. He's only mentioned in the Bible 3 times, here and in Psalms 110 and in Hebrews chapter 7. Melchizedek is the king of Salem, which is probably the original Jerusalem. Melchizedek worshiped the one true God, even though he probably wasn't even an Israelite. We also know that Melchizedek is a king and a priest. Now, this is very unusual. Most of the time, God doesn't like to mix these two positions together. For example, when King Uzziah tried to be a king and a priest, God gave him leprosy. There's really more that we don't know about Melchizedek than we do know. We don't know his father and mother. We don't know where he came from. We don't know how he came to believe in God and how Abraham came to know him. We do know that he was just there. And we also know that God placed a great importance on him. So you better pay attention to what he says and does. Melchizedek greets Abram with a meal, bread and wine, which is the royal food of the day. And Melchizedek blesses Abram for winning the battle and relying on God for the victory. And Abram blesses Melchizedek by giving him 1/10 of the spoils. Some scholars think that Melchizedek is the pre-incarnate Christ, and others think that he is an example of the coming Messiah. Either way, God had him there just at the right moment. Now, the king of Sodom is a different story. Instead of godly encouragement, he makes demands and tries to manipulate Abram. He says, "From the spoils of the battle, just give me the people, and you can keep all the things." You see, one day, Abram or Abraham will be known as a very rich man. And people will say, "Look at Abraham and how much God has blessed him." And the evil king of Sodom will be able to say, "That wasn't God who blessed him. That was me. I made him rich. Worship me." Well, Abram saw right through this and tells the king of Sodom that he wouldn't even give him a piece of worn out shoe leather. You know, God's word tells us that when we are tempted, God will provide a way of escape. And sometimes it will be a different choice that he offers. And other times it will be in the form of a godly person that he will send to encourage us. Know the difference between the types of people in your life. Recognize the ones that just want to use you and the ones that God places in your life to encourage you. Sometimes God will place those people in your life at just the right time. So have a great day in the Lord, Willowbrook.